G'day, Syntropic growers. This is Farmer Jones again on video number 41, and we just thought we'd share a few finer points on wood chipping your rows and some of the theories between hay mulch, dump mulch, wood chips, leaf matter, laying logs down. There's quite a few ideas around Syntropics, but we thought we'd share what we do. And we are in a position to have a lot of biomass on the farm because we've got a lot of eucalypt trees, and we just went around with a pole saw and took off a lot of the thinner stuff, and likely they're going to fall off anyway, so we might as well chip them up. Now in our case, we decided to do a hay interface. If you can notice on this side of the row, we've gone and put on just some hay we had ready, and then we find our chipper doesn't like this leafy matter very much, so we've just nipped them off and laid them down all along the road there, as you can see. And on top of that, we've produced these beautiful wood chips. So in our case, we get our wood chips for free, or just for the cost of a bit of biodiesel in the tractor. But we have our beast here. It's a PTO driven wood chipper. It's okay. It was about $2,500 when I bought it. You've got the benefit of a 30 horsepower motor behind it, but it's not perfect. It jams up, you know. You have to be very careful about how you feed your wood stock or your feedstock in it. It will do a log that thick. It's about 2 inches, but it much prefers these types of sticks here. These particular trees are spotted gum, and as long as you cut it fresh, the wood chipper can handle it okay. If you let them dry out, the wood chipper jams up. It doesn't like it. Anyway, we've gone along every metre or so. We've produced a beautiful bunch of these wood chips here, and we just spread them around, and not to damage the trees that we've already planted. And the theory being that these will have leaf and wood matter to help fungal growth. And if you were to just hay the row, you'd likely be replacing the hay in 3, 4, 5 months. And that could be 3 or 4 times a year, so that's very time consuming. But however, the tree rows that we've wood chipped before, it's coming on 2 years now and the chips are still there. And we don't have to replace that hay. So it's a lot of work to do wood chips initially, but you're probably saving yourself another 4 to 8 dressings of hay if you go with the wood chip way. Now, what happens if you don't have a tractor and a PTO driven wood chipper? Well, you can call your mates in the power line clearing businesses, and perhaps they can drop them off to you. Another source of good woody matter is the dump mulch at our local council tips, rubbish tips, and they give that stuff away for free. But in many cases, there is no tractor to help load your trailer, so you're going to have to do a bit of shovel work. However, it's free, it's good stuff. People complain about bits of plastic in it, but they have picked up their game and improved, and now it's not unusual to find plastic in the free council municipal dump mulch. It's already composted in many cases, and when you open the side of the hill up, it's black, it's mouldy, it's steaming. So the process has already started. It's pretty much free compost, and we often use it for our tree pots and our larger plants in the pots as a starter mix. Now, what do we do with the big logs that your chipper doesn't like? Well, we're just cheating, and we're just laying the logs along the side. And they can stay there forever as far as we're concerned. Easy to move. You can cover them in hay and wood chips later if you want. But these pieces here are too big for our chipper. Now, if you go back to Brazil and look at Ernst Gosch's place or any number of other farms, they often have a ditch dug both sides of the tree row, and they bury these logs sideways to form a footpath. Well, having tried it, I'm here to tell you that's an incredible amount of work, and chainsawing, and do you have the trees? Even a very large dead tree doesn't go very far. Now, in some cases on this farm and other Syntropic projects we've seen, they've cheated and just laid the log that way along the sides of the tree row. You can do that, but I find when I zip along the alleyways with my mower and sidecast the hay that these little logs get in the way. They jam up your mower and they get pushed out of the way. It's more of a nuisance, I find, than a benefit. However, the theory is, you know, years and years these will break down. The trees from these the roots from these trees will tap under this wood resource. This is a 10-year fertiliser, you might call it, or even longer in some cases. But these will break down. They'll provide habitat under there for critters and creatures and insects, protect the side of the road from the sun, and all sorts of other life will live in there. And of course you'll have the fungal life, and you'll see mushrooms growing on these logs in a few years after a good rain. And that's what you want. We're trying to encourage fungal life. Any biomatter, any biomass is good biomass, and you don't want to waste it. You don't want to waste it by burning it, unless you do live in a cold area, which we don't. We don't need firewood, so this stuff is just, we'll just lay it along the side of the road like that for the moment. That's the current theory, and just spread your wood chips over it like that, and you've got a very beautiful layer of biomass which essentially will last forever. It's not going anywhere in a hurry, and this stuff will help mycelium and fungal life and mushrooms and all sorts of stuff going on. And these trees will be feeding on this in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. So you're really investing in the future by using up all the biomass that you have on hand. So we just we prepare all our trees first, our cut down trees, and we just reverse our tractor back and feed them into the wood chipper both sides. And we reckon, even though it's a couple of days work, it's turning out to be a full day's work for each tree row to wood chip. It's a lot of work, plus cutting down, but like I said, it's an investment in the future. You're not going to have to redress the rows with hay or other light forms of biomass all the time. Now, in addition to the chop and drop, this will make a beautiful road that will continue to feed these trees for a very long time. So that's just our current method, and any questions and comments, please provide them in the comments below. We'd like to hear what other people are doing, and we'll see you on video number 42. Over and out for Farmer Jones.